Welcome back. My name is Darren Thomas, and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at how to make a basic, simple scatter plot using Power BI. So let's go ahead and see what we can learn. Okay, what you're seeing on your screen right now is the finished product. What our little scatter plot is going to look like when we're done. So you can see right here we have a title in the upper left hand corner. We have the y-axis labeled, the x-axis labeled. We have a legend over here. It's colored. You can see all these things. We even have a little slicer. We'll learn a little bit about this as well. So this is the finished product. Let's go ahead and recreate this so that we get exactly what we want. All right, so I'm already assuming that you know how to load data into Power BI, so we're not going to review that. Instead, what we're going to do here is we're going to start by clicking on Scatter Chart, like so. And we're going to go ahead and bring in our different pieces of data that we need. So for our x-axis, we need social life. For our y-axis, we need mobile phone. And so you can see right now, we only have one dot. So not very useful, even though we put all that information in there. So what we have to do is we have to find a way to tell Power BI to identify all the individual dots that are going to come from our data. So we have about 150 rows of data. And so how you do that is we're going to take something called respondent. Now, respondent is kind of like the individual identification of each person who completed the survey when this data was collected. And so by putting that as values, it tells Power BI to find the social life, the X value, and the Y value based on the respondent. And that's how you get all of your unique values to show up like this. This is perhaps unique to Power BI. If you use other software like Python or R, you don't have to stipulate this, but this is how it works. Now, one other thing I want to do for my X and Y values, and this doesn't really change anything, is I'm going to switch this from sum to average. That's all. Again, nothing really changes because, you know, sum and average are the same thing, but you can clearly see what I have here. So when it's sum, basically, it's just saying that, okay, the sum value for this person on this dot right here is social life is 4, and the sum value of mobile phone is 1.43 as an example. So it doesn't make a difference, but it seems to help with interpretation in my experience when dealing with my audience. So I'm not quite done. There's a few more things I need to do. And so I need to change the names of the X and Y axes. So it's not going to be called the average of social life. It's not going to be called the average of mobile phone. Now to do this, I got to click on my chart again, make sure I'm there. Click on Format My Visual. And we're going to click here on the x-axis, click on title, and then we're going to change it from auto to what we want it to be called. Whoops, that's not what I want. Social life, like so. And you can see right over here on the x-axis, the name has been changed. We repeat this process for the y-axis. Click on y-axis, click on title. And we're going to change this from auto to mobile phone. And you can see the names have been changed. Now if we click on general, we can change the name at the top here. Average of social life, average of mobile phone by respondent. Click on title. We're just going to call it social life and mobile phone. Like so. And that's it. So we're done with that. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our legend. Now the legend allows us to add a third dimension to our scatter plot. And this is normally going to be a categorical variable. So for our purposes, we're going to add major into the legend. Now we have all these multicolored dots. Each of these different dots represents a particular major. So for example, if I hover right here over this guy, it's kind of like a brownish red or whatever. It's an English major. And of course, these plots are interactive. So if I click on this, only the English majors are dark colored and the rest are kind of a light color. If I click back, all the colors come back to having the same, I guess you can call it the same hue or whatever. And so that's how that works. So another thing we can do as well, if we really wanted to, is we could set up a filter as well. So again, how you do this really depends on your audience and what you're trying to do. So for example, I could go here, which is not the easiest way, and I can click on major. And if I just want business majors, all the other majors disappear. If I click back on that, I can do it like this. I'll click on education, only the education majors appear. Now with the filters, the thing about filters is that when you publish your actual Power BI report or interactive dashboard, you can hide the filters. So again, how you approach this really depends on your audience and who you're trying to support. Another way we can address this is we can make a slicer. So if I click, let's see here, right here on the little filter, I make a little slicer. I could put this over here. It doesn't have to be this big. I know that from experience. And then I just drop major right here into the field. And so now I have all of my different majors right here. This is just like in the filter. Just what you use depends on your audience. If I want to change how this looks, I can also do that if I really desire to. So if I really want to change the appearance of the slicer, I can click on, you got to click on format, click on visuals, and then you have slicer settings. That's already open for me, but if I click on here, and then I can make it a drop down like so. And so now when I click on it, it drops down and I can select. I can say English majors only. I can say everybody, science and education. Oh, you gotta, I think, hold down the control button for that. And so that's how that works. So we're gonna put this up in the corner now, like so. Now, what we can also do is we set a filter. We already have the slicer in place. We're going to move the major, what do you call it, legend right here. So we got to look through here real quick. We got legend right here. And so we clicked on format, then we clicked visual was already open, then we clicked on legend, and now we're going to move this over to the center right. This is a very common place to put the legend right here. Again, where you put it at depends on your audience and your purpose. And our last little trick is going to be to add a trend line. As you can see here, there's not a very strong correlation between social life and mobile phone use. Again, this is taken from a survey, but we can actually add a trend line. If you click on analysis here, the magnifying glass, you can click on trend line like so, and we get this little dotted black line kind of going through here. If you can't see it, I can turn things off. There you go. That's what it looks like right there. You can see it also changes depending on the data you have selected. So there's English, religion. You can see it's actually a negative correlation in English, and so you can see that as well. And that's essentially it. So lots of different tools, lots of different ways you can play with your data. The best way to approach dealing with making these reports or these dashboards is it must be very clear in your mind what kind of questions you are trying to potentially answer with the plot that you are making. Because it's very easy to lose focus in all the different features inside Power BI. But what you're really trying to do is you're trying to create some sort of a visual that is going to satisfy a need of your audience. And so you have to keep them in mind, shape the visual according to the questions and potential questions and the needs of your audience. And then you don't have to get distracted by all the bells and whistles that are available inside Power BI. So as you can see, they look exactly the same for the most part. Our two little plots, nice and beautiful. So to conclude, basically all that we did in this particular video was we learned how to make a scatter plot. You have to set your values for your x-axis and your y-axis, and you must have a third variable that identifies all of the unique rows inside your data set one way or the other. Otherwise, your data will not populate the scatter plot. We also looked at how to set up legends. We addressed the potential of filters, and we looked at how to rename the x and y axes as well as the title. And one of the last things that we dealt with was how to make an actual trend line if we so desire to. So again, I want to thank you so much for watching. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Thanks again, and take care.